Alright guys, that was a lot better in the quarterfinals, okay? Really happy with that. Let's just keep that going here against Labasa, and then we can focus on the final, okay? If we just keep playing like this, we'll be fine. Just keep it up, and it'll be okay. We'll just keep winning trophies. Just keep it up. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 144 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun Does FM with both the All Whites and Kashmir Technical. I hope you're doing well and coming today with the semi-finals of the OFC Champions League. Can we try and win it? I believe now it would be for a 10th straight season, and to make our way to the big dance we need to get past Labasa from Fiji, and before that first leg seeing it's away from home we'll do a bus trip as well. So if you're looking forward to that, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. We just played one game off the back of making our way through the quarterfinals in yesterday's episode. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Very comfy win there over to Fiji. I think the scoreline from both legs was 11-2. Off the back of that, we did play our Southern League opener midweek, which was against Otago Uni. It was at home, put at a full rotation for this game, and picked up a relatively comfortable 3-1 win. A missed penalty there in the second half for Wilsner at that stage was looking for his hat-trick, and also on the 69-minute mark, to Hotman de Villiers did get a 2-goal advantage back off the back of a goal for Kieran Kelly, with Otago Uni's only shot on target. But stats-wise, you can see very dominant display, just that missed penalty, which did allow them back in the game briefly, but we start off our Southern League campaign there with a win. So not too much has happened off the back of yesterday's episode, making our way through the quarterfinals of the Champions League. To be for the biggest thing which might have happened is the first leg of the other semi-final has been played. It was at Western Suburbs home ground, a 2-2 draw against Tawhia, so maybe it won't be an All New Zealand final if we do make our way through to that big dance, because Tawhia now should go home with a fair bit of confidence off the back of that result. We did beat Tawhia quite heavily back in our group. We beat them 5-0 in the second game. Early goals there to Western Suburbs, but then about 10 minutes later, a quick 5-double as well to Tawhia. They did FM them just a little bit with 4 shots, all of them on target, but Western Suburbs won't be too happy with that result from what looks like a new stadium and game there, the Declan Edge Stadium. That looks like a new one, much like my one here down at Kashmir Tech, but a bit of an upset result there. So maybe Western Suburbs in danger now, going over to, I believe, Tawhia are from Vanuatu. Indeed, that is the case for that second leg. That could be tricky for them. Hopefully, though, that won't be the case with us here as we take on a Labasa team who, just like everyone in Oceania, we should be absolutely miles better than here at Kashmir Tech. They're from Fiji. They're currently third in the Fijian League and behind Navua and Lautoka as well, actually, as Ndroga. It's fourth their league position. The media prediction, that was third. 1-star reputation club. This should be a team we can beat very, very comfortably. We do have a couple of injuries, the same ones from yesterday, albeit most of those players are actually now making their way back from those injuries, but just not quite in good enough shape for a start, in particular Chris Greenidge. But one injury, Phil Wilson, a damaged foot, our backup right back. He's out for 5 days to 2 weeks. He probably won't feature over the 2 legs of this Champions League semi. If we actually need to show you guys the second leg, if I can, and we beat these guys badly enough, we could actually come back and hopefully spectate that second leg between Tawhia and Western Suburbs. That's going to be a bit more interesting, but I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is our first time over to Labasa for a game on camera. So before we get stuck in to the first leg of this Champions League semi, it's time for a Fijian bus trip. And with this being an overseas bus trip, we do start off here looking for a hotel. Now, Labasa is actually on a different island to where most of the big stuff is over in Fiji. There's the main island with towns like Suva in particular in the bottom right corner, and also Nadi on the left-hand side. We are all the way up here in Labasa. I do actually think we might have gone up to this part of the island before, but maybe taken on a different team. Hopefully not redoing a bus trip yet again. But to be fair, this will be quite a short bus trip, because once I zoom in a bit and we actually find our way up towards where the ground is, there it is, the little town of Labasa. We'll go in a bit deeper, start to make our way up a little bit more, and we can actually zoom out a bit. It's a bit too close, but you can see we've picked out the 3.7 star rated 3-star hotel of the Grand Eastern, and right next door to it is the Subrau Park soccer field. So to be fair, this is not going to be too much of a bus trip, but anyway, it looks like a decent hotel. Here's the website. It's the Pride of the North apparently. Let's have a look at some of the other slides that they might have here of the hotel. There's a nice little outdoor pool. You guys know a good outdoor pool is one of my main things I look for in a hotel, apart from the good old Movenpick chocolate hour. They have little towel animals on the beds. Happy days. It looks pretty good, especially being so close to the ground. I think this will do. And to be fair, being in a place that's not actually on the main island of Fiji, the options were pretty limited for accommodation, so I think this will do. They've even got a bit of a pub, it looks like, there in the Sinidovu bar. That will do just nicely, and also because we're broke at Kashmir Tech, it's blimmin' cheap as well at $99 a night, so I think that looks like a good option, and we may as well just get stuck straight in to this bus trip because this shouldn't take too long. There's not a lot of ground to cover here on this one.
A few moments later.
And it gets even better, there's no street view in Labasa. So, awesome bus trip. Let's get the layers up here so we can actually see what we're supposed to be looking at. There's the Grand Eastern Hotel. As you can see, quite a big area there next to the river nearby. We've got hardware and motors just in case our minibus does get an issue if we actually need to use the minibus, because not the longest bus trip here. Nearby, if you're wondering, there's a bit of food. We've got the lunchbox, which might be some lunch-based food. Also somewhere down here, there was a vegetarian restaurant, got an Indian one there. In fact, that's the vegetarian restaurant, but hard to tell what they're called with terrain mode on. Also, there's a cinema, all sorts of stuff here nearby where we are staying, but this bus trip won't be too long. We just make our way here out of the driveway, go past the supermarkets, take a right-hand turn, go onto Rara Avenue, past the auto spare. So again, if the bus breaks down, we should be okay for multiple reasons, and we make our way to Subrau Park. So that was quick, that's what she said. That's our bus trip. For today's episode, we are playing on the main ground. Let's just see if I can find a bit of a better ground view picture of where we're going to be playing this first leg of this Champions League semi. And to be honest, there's not too many good photos that I can see here that are going to be quite big. I think this might be the best one. That's what it looks like. That was probably before it was about to undergo the $65,000 renovation, but still, I think that's one of the better pictures, because hopefully it's not going to look like that if it rains. That would not be very good at all. We want it to stay dry just like this. And that's our bus trip. It was a very short one. There's no street view there over in Labasa, and to be fair, the hotel very close to where we're playing hopefully can pick up a comfy one, and maybe then take a seat and see the battle in the other semi between Western Suburbs and Tafia. And here are the team sheets for the first leg of this Champions League semi, and first up the home team here in Labasa, who to be fair come to this one in some pretty poor form. 2 losses in their last 3 games, going with a 4-4 frickin' 2. In terms of us, still got Osorio at left wing, Brennan just coming back from injury, and also Byers at right back, because Harrison Debenham a little bit tired. Do need to start him in those domestic games with the under-20 rule. So Byers can get a start in this one. To be fair, he's also under 20, but is a foreigner. An early free kick here in our favour. Unfortunately, can't link up with anyone. In fact, Kumar here gets a decent chance to do something for the home team on the counter-attack. Thankfully, it's not a wet day. The ground's not flooded like we saw in the rugby photo before. But thankfully, Diop here's that one forward there to Sam Clark, who drives inside of the opposition half. But a poor pass there looking. I think that would have been for Osorio, and the Labasa do get the ball back. To be fair, absolutely picks Subrau Park as you would expect, as the big guns in Kashmir Tech do make their way to town. Again, they're going here with the long ball. Diop heads that one away nicely, and Evans can tidy things up. Good switch out there from Johnson to Khalid. Squares it nicely for Johnson. He picks out Osorio, takes on the shot near post and puts it away. Beats the Shaun at his near post, and that is a brilliant start. Less than 2 minutes in, and already we take a 1-0 lead. Of course, Western Suburbs also got off to a pretty good start, as we saw before in their first league, but hopefully we can kick on a bit more and put these guys away in just 90 minutes. So hopefully those guys might have to play their first teamers a bit more in that second league. Hopefully we can give our guys a bit of a rest if we pump Labasa off to a good start, 1-0 up early. And in fact, very short left back of that first goal on the attack here again 5 minutes in, and we are making our way now into the final third. Carly gets that ball just inside of the box, plays it back to Baez, back to Clark. Nice ball in there for Zoomers, but that is a pretty good save at close range there from the goalkeeper. So a good chance there for us to make it 2-0 early. Can't quite get the job done. Zoomers now takes the corner. Janssen will find Carly back out to Zoomers. Floats this one in there looking for Anderson. Can't hit it away. Chandra looking here to do something on the counter attack. Pretty good foul that from Hosafa. Still 1-0 Kashmir. And lots of action early in this game now up to the 10-minute mark. And again, we have the ball here inside of the final third, just inside the byline. We play that one back to Evans and go back towards halfway with Hosafa up there to Evans. Hosafa actually the other player under 20. So we might actually be better off saving him up for the National League instead of these Champions League games. Maybe Arce should get a bit more game time. Nice ball in there for Zoomers, but that time just blast that one well over the crossbar. That's a bit of a shocker. Still only 1-0 up here, just going past the 15-minute mark, and now there's a free kick here to Labasa, but not very good. Diop can charge forward, get that ball back for us now. Janssen goes down. We play it forward to Khalid, who will put that one away. We'll just wait and see if he was offside. Unfortunately, he was. And now let's just see what happens here to Janssen. We'll see how he gets on off the back of this highlight. That is a pretty harsh call. Hopefully, it won't prove too costly. But he has picked up an orange injury, so I think we'll play things smart. We should be able to handle Labasa even without Lorenzo Janssen's coming on for him off the back of 2 goals in that Southern League opener against Otago Uni. Will be Wilson forced into an early sub, but still 1-0 in front. And we've gone forward quite a bit for our next highlight in this game. Just made our way into the last 5 minutes here of the first half. So VP Labasa doing a good job to keep this close. Hopefully don't do a Western Suburbs from the first leg of that other semi, but thankfully eventually do get that ball back. Zoomers there with a bit of hold-up play now. Khalid finds Clark, just sneaks his way inside the box, takes on a shot there, who tries to beat the goalkeeper from a tight angle, much like Azorio for our first goal, but that was a very, very weak shot. Now we've got 2 minutes here of added time and a late throw-in to Labasa. Hopefully we can just find a way here to grab a cushion goal before halftime. Otherwise, this could actually end up being a bit of a close game. Maybe the island teams are staying a little bit better compared to how they were early stages of the save. But Carly now on the ball for us. They did give the ball away off the back of that throw. Now Baez in there for Wilson and Clark again here on the ball. Our deep line playmaker. Lovely ball out there to Baez. He'll take on the shot from a tight angle. He's been done dirty there, the goalkeeper, by a big deflection off a defender. And his first goal for Kashmir Tech for, I believe, the Argentinian right back Santiago Baez. It's very fortunate because I'm pretty sure goalkeeper was going to save that one, but the deflection gave him no chance at the near post. It's pretty lucky, but I think based on overall play, we do deserve that 2-goal lead going to halftime, and based on XG, we should actually be up by even more, but that is a pretty good first half. Unfortunately, lost Lorenzo Janssen, hopefully not anything too serious. We will take off Ezra Zoomers on a 6.3. Coming on for him, it will be Michael James Gilbert, but apart from that, pretty happy with how things are going. Hopefully, a few more goals in the second half to put these guys to bed in this first leg, as we're currently only up by 2. And just shy of 10 minutes into the second half, we get the first highlight of it. It's a free kick here in our favour. Baez plays that one over the top, and Khalid will keep this one in. Floats that one far post, but unfortunately Shaun can come out and claim it's Labasa here. We'll probably need to strike soon, try and keep themselves in this one. You imagine going back to Christchurch for the second leg, we should be winning that one. They probably need to win more from this game than Tafia did in the other one. That a big result. It was a draw, but still, that certainly makes things interesting for that second leg over in Vanuatu. Hopefully, the games don't clash. We can have a look at that one off the back of this first leg. If we score a few more goals here in the second half, at the moment, doing a good job to keep hold of the ball, but eventually do go back into our own half, albeit only briefly. Now Zorio down that left-hand side tries to do his man there for pace, floats that one far post there for Khalid. He loves to score a headed goal, puts that one into the ground, and it does beat the goalkeeper there. That makes it 3-0 nice and early in the second half, and hopefully, as I said about halftime, we can now kick on just a little bit more and hopefully make sure that second leg won't have too much riding on it. Hopefully also can put our rotation team for that game, save our guys up, get a good start off in the Southern League, and also for the final in case anyone is in yellow card trouble. A corner off the back of that, and we actually deal with that there at the far post. Now Gilbert gets there first, just for some reason takes some time, but eventually actually quite a good ball to Wilsner, who for some reason runs away from all his support. Maybe going to take this on by himself. Doesn't, because he goes back there to Khalid, back out to Wilsner, who takes on the shot from a very tight angle. Not the best save attempt there from Shaun in goal, but a quick fire double. That makes it 4-0 Wilsner in some pretty good form. Should have probably got a hat-trick in that Otago Uni game, if not for the missed penalty. And this time, that's a pretty good finish with his left foot. Not the best goalkeeping effort there, though, from the goalkeeper from Labasa, but 4-0 off the back of a couple of quick fire highlights here in the second half. And in fact, another highlight here from the restart. Labasa try and pump that one deep. Diop wins that one in the air, and Anderson heads it back down to him quite smartly in a little bit of space. Now a chance for us here to make our way out from back and maybe make it 5-0, just shy of the hour mark. Clark just runs backwards before going back there to host Safa. Now Bayes plays that forward to Khalid off the back of that first goal of the second half. Just does his man there for pace down the right-hand side, makes him look silly, takes on the shot, and that one comes off the woodwork. That would have been a sensational individual goal. Unfortunately, woodwork there does come to the rescue of Labasa, 4-0 with a half hour left. And we just made our way into the last 20 minutes of this game, and there's a highlight here starting with a goal kick to Labasa off the back of that. Probably a good time for us here to make some subs. But let's see what happens. We find Osorio with some space down the left-hand side. Some good footwork there too. Floats it in nicely for Louis Evans, but that one goes pretty safely over the crossbar. So still 4-0, and we're going to make some subs here so these players can actually get some ratings in the last 15 minutes. Evans going fairly on a 6.5, so Corona can come on for him. Got two more subs left that we can make. Let's bring on here Hughes for Hosar to save him up for the domestic games with the under-20 requirements, and also of the rest, PA probably needs the game time more of anyone on there, so we'll bring him on for Diop at left back. That's all our subs used with 20 minutes left, still at 4-0 in front.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a late injury in the first leg of the semi-final, a pretty big one too. Wiley Kali, who got that goal early stages of the second half, is going to be forced from the field here. To be fair, this shouldn't impact things too badly for the semi-final, a 4-0 lead. I think that's good enough one to skip the second leg of this tie, but it does mean last couple of minutes of this one going to be playing with 10 men. Also, of course, Lorenzo Janssen went off in the first half, albeit that was only with an orange injury. Off the back of that, despite being down to 10 men, we do have a corner here. We take it, it gets headed out briefly. It goes back out there though, and Clark will try a curving effort, and that is a wonderful strike. Sam Clark, goal of the season last year in this save, probably also got it with the All Whites if there was an award for that. He seems to only score bangers. PA and him, a little bit of 1-2 play between them, and also their Osorio before it goes back to PA and then Clark. And that's a wonderful curving effort. Nothing that Shaun can do about that one. 5-0. That should definitely put this tie to bed. And maybe we'll be coming back for Western Suburbs versus Tafia for the second game of today's episode. But that in the end is a very comfortable win. We'll just go forward and see how bad those injuries are, because hopefully Carly won't be ruled out for too much longer. Will still be available for the Champions League final, whoever that is against. But there's a very good result, 2-0 up at half-time, and we finish it off in the second half, 5-0 over Labasa. So a good first leg win for us there. Now we're just going to have a quick look at the injuries off the back of that. First up, Lorenzo Janssen, twisted knee. It's a red injury, but only 2 to 4 days. He should be fine for the Champions League final. The other injury might be a bit worse. Walid Khalid, a pulled calf muscle. To be fair, 2 to 3 weeks. That might be okay. 1 week until the second leg of the semi. Not too sure how long after that we have to wait for the Champions League final. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but a couple of injuries from that game. And also, unfortunately, my plan for the second leg isn't going to pay off, because just having a look at the fixtures and the schedule for next week, both games, same time. So unfortunately, I might have to just show you guys highlights from these games in the second leg, especially, of course, that one that's still evenly poised between Tafia and Western Suburbs. But we look very good for our spot in the final, 5-0 in front, off the back of the first leg. And we are very late in the second leg of this Champions League semi-final. It's still 1-1 between Tafia and Labasa. Annoyingly, we've just had a highlight, and it's also for an offside goal. Complete waste of time. We're up 6-0, easily going through the final. Labasa, they got a red card late in the first half of this game. And again, another highlight here, but it was actually Tafia who got the opener around 70 minutes. And unfortunately, I made some subs about the 80-minute mark, and they grab one back to Western Suburbs. And I do think at the moment, Tawhia would be going through because they still have the away goals rule in the Champions League, so that would make our task in the final a heck of a lot easier. Western Suburbs could be about to go out here as unfortunately we get more waste of time highlights. The score now actually 5-0 because that goal before did get ruled out, but Baez, he'll find Turner a shot there from outside the box. He puts it away with a bit of help there from the inside of the post, but to be fair, I don't care about this that much. I want to see what's happening in the other game. Would have definitely preferred if the second leg of these semis got played at different times like the first leg did, because I'm not too sure how the time difference in Fiji and Christchurch is matching up too well. But Turner, that's a good finish for him off of the bench. Still 1-1 in the other game, so I think we're taking on Tawhia, albeit I think I saw a very cheeky late goal there to Western Suburbs. Let's just go forward and see what's gone on in that other game. There are the stats if anyone cares. From the second leg, I don't even care. We were way too good for Labasa there, 11-0 on aggregate. Let's make our way very quickly through this post-match interview. Western Suburbs get out of jail big time with a 94th minute goal. To be fair, we did that to them in the Charity Cup, but still, that's a bit cheesy FM. Tawhia were on the brink of going through the final, but that last goal, deep in injury time, does mean that it's going to be an all-New Zealand clash as expected in the season's Champions League final. And here are the goals from that second leg over in Vanuatu. Big deep baller, and Chronopoulos makes an absolute meal of that actually. Not good work there from the third choice All Whites goalkeepers. That nearly cost them big time there. But they do have to score some goals in the second leg with the away goals rule anyway. Bit of a harsh deflection, that one off the tackle from Mansale. Fell to BB, that was the equaliser, but still Tawhia would have been going through. And the 93rd minute, here's the goal that happened very deep in our game. Duval, low and hard, not quite the bottom right corner, but still beats Manuhi. That is a massive goal. Otherwise, Tawhia would have gone through on the away goals rule, but unfortunately, a little bit less exciting, albeit might be a bit more competitive for you guys, because tomorrow we have got an all-New Zealand final in the Champions League against Western Suburbs, and for some reason, despite that pretty average display in the semis, they will be hosting it this time around at the new stadium up there in Porirua. But that will do it for today's episode. Couple of injuries, but they should be okay by the time we make our way forward to the 9th of May for that Champions League final. We got through comfortably. Hopefully can put a big display on there against Western Suburbs and lift yet another Champions League title. If you enjoyed today, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well until tomorrow for the OFC Champions League final in 2038, an all-New Zealand clash with Western Suburbs. Thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.